Original depositor, there's a good chance that there may be treasure at the end of this tunnel. Beautiful, yay? There's some more trials in play this year. More, the discovery of the money pit, right? I think so. Maybe while they were building the money pit, they were living here. It's not out of the question. The Lagina brothers, Rick and Marty, just struck it big, like jackpot big, on Oak Island. After years of digging, sweating, and chasing every clue they could find, they've uncovered a treasure worth millions. And this isn't just about piles of gold or shiny jewels. It could finally crack a 200-year-old mystery that has had people scratching their heads forever. We're talking legends, curses, and whispers passed down from generation to generation, all tied to this little island. Before moving ahead, please like the video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any new updates. Picture this: Rick and Marty, two guys who just wouldn't quit, have been at it for ages, following hunches and old maps. Now, they've found something huge, maybe the biggest treasure Oak Island has ever coughed up. It's not just cash. There could be artifacts in there that rewrite history books, stuff so old and important that it might tell us secrets about the island's past that nobody's figured out yet. Could this be the treasure everyone's been hunting for centuries? One thing's for sure, these brothers have just made Oak Island history, and the real adventure is only kicking off. Here's how it went down. Toward the end of their digging season, Rick had a lightbulb moment. He picked a spot near an old garden shack, not too far from where they'd been poking around before. This wasn't just a wild guess, they were looking for specific signs, like a hidden room or a secret vault buried deep underground. So, they decided to drill right there and see what popped up. Meanwhile, two smart folks, Dr. Ian Spooner and Dr. Fred Michael, have been running their own tests around the island. They've been checking the water near that garden shack and found something exciting, signs of metals that don't seem natural. They're convinced there's treasure down there, not just random rocks. They picked a new spot to drill, gave it a fancy name like E5 or 14M5, and figured if they go about 100 feet deep, they might hit the good stuff. Maybe gold. Maybe something just as cool. These scientists aren't messing around. They've got data, experience, and a gut feeling telling them this could be it. It's a big, hopeful swing, but if they're right, the Lagina brothers and their team might just pull up the treasure everyone's been dreaming about. And that, my friend, is where the story's at, on the edge of something epic. The team's buzzing. This spot could be the one. They're already calling it legendary. Gearing up with big grins and high hopes, everyone's thinking this might finally be it. The drill's ready. The anticipation's through the roof. They're all holding their breath as it starts churning into the earth. With every foot it digs deeper, slicing through dirt and rock, the excitement cranks up a notch. This is their last shot of the season, and they know it. If the drill doesn't hit something now, they're stuck waiting a whole year to try again. So, they're glued to it, watching like hawks, nerves on edge, chatter nonstop. What if this changes everything? What if we're about to pull up more than just a few rusty coins? What if it's a legit treasure stash, something so big people will still be talking about it years from now? It's not just about shiny loot, though. For Rick, Marty, Craig, and the crew, it's personal. Finding this would prove they've been right all along, that every late night, every sore muscle, every wild theory was worth it. They're dreaming of drilling down 50, 60 feet, then maybe sideways, or straight down, hoping to stumble into a hidden tunnel or secret chamber. Each person's got their own little fantasy. Maybe it's funding a new adventure. Securing their future. Or just getting to say, I was part of history. But they're practical too. If they hit the jackpot, what's next? Who do they call? How do they handle it? They've got a game plan for every what if, and they're triple-checking everything: equipment, notes, you name it. They've had enough dead ends to know not to get too carried away. But man, hope's a stubborn thing. In the background, the drill keeps humming, a steady rumble that screams, we're so close. They're watching, waiting, praying this last dig of the season cracks Oak Island wide open. Every year, though, it's the same old dance. Winter rolls in. The winds howl. The team wraps up, usually with nothing but frustration and a pile of sand to show for it. They've got fancy tech and maps screaming there's treasure down there. but it's like the islands playing hide-and-seek and winning. This time, as they drilled, every core sample pulled up had them on edge. Hearts pounding, hoping this would be the one to reveal a vault stuffed with riches. So far? Nada. But they're not giving up, not yet. The drill kept spinning. The team held their breath, expecting gold or some big clue. Instead? Sand. Just a relentless flood of gritty, mocking sand, pouring out like the island was laughing at them. And not just any sand, this stuff was mixed with sticky clay. The kind that makes everything a mess. It's tough to dig through, and worse, it's useless for finding those hidden water channels they were banking on. False alarms and big dreams. Someone muttered it as they crowded around each fresh sample, hearts pounding with hope and a little fear. But every time, it was the same letdown. More sand. Then more sand. And then even more of this dry, useless stuff that told them, zip. Each scoop was like a punch to the gut. They'd been so sure this spot, marked on their beat-up map, was supposed to be the spot. Experts had said it. Signs had pointed to it. Everything lined up until it didn't. Time was running out fast. The season was fading. The cold was creeping in, biting at their fingers, reminding them the clock was ticking. They started tossing around ideas about this clay-packed sand. If it weren't so clogged with clay, it might have led us somewhere, someone said, trying to keep the vibe up. But deep down, they knew this mix wasn't the key to the island's secrets. It wasn't going to unlock any hidden riches. Still, they couldn't help but brainstorm. Maybe this sand and clay is proof of something, like old flood tunnels built to guard the treasure, one of them threw out. It was a stretch, but they clung to it. Desperate to make sense of the grind. Could this be a sign of ancient defenses keeping whatever's buried safe from folks like them? They were reaching, sure. But it beat admitting defeat. As the days wound down, they shifted gears. Time to clean the gear. Review the logs. Dig into the data. They'd pore over every detail, every number, every sample, trying to figure out where it went sideways. The talks got nerdy, full of what-ifs and wild guesses. Each person had their own pet theory, their own spark of hope for next time. Because that's treasure hunting for you. It's a roll of the dice. And most of the time? You don't hit the jackpot. You just get sand, a sore back, and a story about the one that got away.